Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome back to the Christmas special of Movie Monday. We're going to watch my top 3 favourite all-time Christmas movies, and they are Home Alone, a classic, and it is in glorious 4K Ultra HD. I'm trying to angle it so you can see it properly. That is the cover. Next up is Elf. Yes, this is a special edition, although it's just a regular Blu-ray, it's just got a special slip cover. That's literally it. Christmas slip cover, but it's still the regular Blu-ray inside with a digital copy. And also, an underrated one. Obviously everyone knows Home Alone, everyone knows Elf, but not many people know Jingle All the Way. This, for me, is underrated, and for me, one of the best Christmas movies ever. And definitely in my top 3, along with Home Alone and Elf. And also, I recently bought an Ice Age box set, a revisit to my childhood. It includes Ice Age 1, 2, 3 and 4. And it also includes a bonus, a short, and it's called A Mammoth Christmas. So it's good timing. I got this recently and it's got a Christmas special inside it. I've never seen it, it's just short, it's half an hour long, and it's Christmas themed. So it should be fun. Let's start with this actually. I'm going to start with this, then I'll watch Jingle All the Way, and then on another day I'll watch Elf and Home Alone. I'll leave the best till last, because for me, Elf and Home Alone, they are the best Christmas movies. For me, you watch them every year. At least I watch them every year. They're essential to Christmas, in my opinion. Anyway, let's get started with Ice Age. So, the Ice Age Christmas special is actually alright. It's a short, obviously. First of all, the animation looks really clean. Like, it looks better than 1080p. I don't know if it's my 4K TV upscaling it really well, or just the Blu-ray is just really nice, but it looks visually so nice. Animation is clean, full screen, it looks great. It looks beautiful actually. The best I've ever seen Ice Age. Like, it's the most HD Ice Age can get. But yeah, like, Manny doesn't believe in Santa, doesn't believe in Christmas, thinks a Christmas tree is a silly idea, amongst other things. But the kids, they believe in Santa, they believe in a naughty list, and they go off in search of Santa. Against Manny's wishes, and they go, the adults, Manny, Diego, and what's Manny's wife's name? I keep forgetting. The 3 of them, they go after the kids to try and get them, and they end up in the North Pole, and crazy things happen, and they sort of ruin and save Christmas in a short span of time. That's the best I can do without spoiling it too much, but it's a good short. Let's move on to, where is it? I have lost it. Here it is. Jingle All the Way. This movie has some Marvel references. I've just seen Wolverine in words, Fantastic Four. I have seen a massive picture of Captain America, a Hulk mask. Kid's a Marvel fan. So this movie is essentially about a dad who's not a very good dad. He keeps disappointing his son. At the start of this movie, he misses out on his son's karate class. He leaves work late, he gets stuck in traffic, he gets caught speeding by the police, and ultimately misses the whole event. And it's a big event for his kid because he's just got the next belt in karate. Big moment for him. His dad wasn't there, and this is not the first time that his dad's not turned up. So his dad's, they have a talk because he's angry at his dad, and he's like, how can I make it up to you? And he wants this action figure of Turbo Man, who I'm sure is just fictionalized to this movie, but a Turbo Man doll is what he wants for Christmas, and all his dad has to do is buy it, and he's got weeks to do it, but he forgets, and it's not until Christmas Eve that he realizes he needs one. And in this movie, that toy is the fastest selling Christmas toy ever. It's completely sold out, pretty much impossible to get. So this dad is running around on Christmas Eve trying to get his action figure so he can get it ready for his son in Christmas morning. So his day starts off, he goes to a store, and there's people fighting each other. It's like those Black Friday videos you see on the internet, on Twitter, real life videos, except in a movie. and you see them fighting over all these toys, but Turbo Man is completely sold out. And on top of that, he is not the only dad who is out there looking for this Turbo Man on Christmas Eve. So there's another guy who essentially keeps meeting, and they essentially start battling each other to try and find the Turbo Man somehow. So yeah, crazy things happen, but that is the plot of the movie, and I just really enjoy it. I really do. He's trying to make it up to his son, and he could have, except he left it till Christmas Eve, and he can't find this thing anywhere, so it's just him going out all day. There's also a weird subplot as well, like the neighbour fancies his wife, so he's trying to move to his wife. Is just like, But why is this part of the movie? It doesn't need to be here. I feel like they did the action figure storyline, the main storyline for the kids, for families. And then this sort of like almost a fair storyline for adults watching the movie. I'm just like, why is this plot here? Why is it here? So he's out there on Christmas Eve trying to find this toy for his son. And while he's out, his neighbour's at his house talking to his wife. And he clearly fancies his wife. Put that cookie down now! I can't do the impression, but that is one of Arnold's best quotes. Put that cookie down now. For me, it's up there with Get to the Chopper. I didn't realise that cop would be a recurring character. Like, he stopped him at the start of the movie for speeding. And then just now, he accidentally broke the cop's wire. He broke a cop's motorbike. And that same cop who stopped him earlier is the one that walks out. He must be in there again then, surely. What I love about this dad is, even though he keeps disappointing his son, and he shouldn't be doing that, the fact that he's so determined to get him his toy. He doesn't have to go through all this effort. You know, he disappointed his son a lot of times. You know, it could happen again. But he goes through all this effort on the last day before Christmas just to get this toy. You know, it shows that he really cares, and I like that part of it. I like that side of it. Even from like, I've only watched like, I'm only half an hour in, I think. I'm the first few scenes in of him trying to get this toy. Even from these first few scenes, you can see how determined he is. The stuff he goes through just to get that toy is brilliant. It just shows how much he really cares, because he doesn't have to do this, but he does, because he cares about making his son happy. So that's great. You know, should be a better dad still, but at least he cares. Fun fact, the Big Show cameos in this, in a massive Santa Claus suit. So he gets scammed, not by the Big Show, but by a guy in a Santa Claus suit, claiming he had the Turbo Man toy. Takes him back to his warehouse, and there's a bunch of people dressed as Santa and elves. And they're actually criminals. They basically took cheap toys and trying to sell them on for big profit. And it's illegal what they're doing. Arnold is tricked to go in there and buy Turbo Man, but it turns out to be a fake one, and he ends up fighting him, and one of them is Big Show. He turns up massive compared to the rest. Funny scene, and he just fights Santa Clauses essentially until the police turn up. Haha, out of context. That was, you guessed it, the same cop that's turned up twice before. So they're both at a cafe, so this other dad that's also chasing this action figure, they keep meeting each other somehow, some way. They keep ending up bumping into each other. They're at a cafe, they've basically given up. Then they hear the radio saying, "You can win an Turbo Man." And the radio station's like 2 blocks down. So they start fighting each other and running towards the radio station. They got to name all the reindeer, and they can get a Turbo Man. They go up there, turns out there's no Turbo Man, just a voucher code to get one in future, not now. The radio man calls the police get there, and the other dad is a postman, so he's threatening the police with a parcel that could be a bomb, because bombs can get sent in parcels sometimes. They all believe him, so both dads escape because of that. And it turns out it was actually a bomb. It was actually a bomb. So, I mean, it wasn't a lethal one, clearly, because as you can see, the cop was still standing there. But yeah, it's safe to say that both Arnold and the other dad are both a bit unstable. He's not a great person, is he? No one's perfect, but he tried to break into his neighbour's house. Yeah, his neighbour's a bit annoying. Broke into his neighbour's house to try and steal his present for his son, Turbo Man. At least he realised what he was doing. As he left, he realised, I can't do this, and goes to put it back. Then the wild dog that's in the house chases him around, starts a fire. And obviously the neighbour, and of course Arnold's wife, they find him in their house. So even though he was returning it, to them, he was just trying to steal the Turbo Man. And he was, in fairness, but yeah, he made him look bad, but it was kind of his fault. Oh my, I just realised something. How did I not see it? It's literally the same kid. I was just like, this movie came out in '96, so I'm thinking like, he's probably an adult by now. Let's see what movies he's acting in. I just thought maybe I might recognise him as an adult. Then I realised it's little Anakin from the Star Wars prequels. The kid that played the kid Anakin. That's the kid in this movie. How did I not realise that? He's got the exact same face. What? I'm glad I caught that. I can't believe I never knew that to this day. Yeah, he does still act, but like he's not in anything that I've recognized. But literally, you search on IMDb and most of it's Star Wars. You see Jingle All the Way as well, but it's literally all Star Wars. Yeah. I didn't even think like he looks familiar. I didn't even think that. But yeah, that is young Anakin. Just in a chaotic scene. So they're at a Turbo Man parade. There's a big parade in town, and the kids have gone to enjoy the parade. And the neighbor Ted, he's trying to move in on Arnold's wife, trying to kiss her in the car. And Arnold literally sees that. He walks up to the car, he sees that. So he runs towards the car in anger, bumps into the police officer, the same police officer that he's met 3 times and wants to arrest him. He bumps into him who's carrying hot drinks, and the hot drinks spill all over the officer. So he's running away from the officer. So, oh, by the way, his wife literally she whacked the neighbor with a bottle, so clearly she's not interested. So that's all good. So she handled herself, didn't need the husband. But the husband has gone off somewhere else, running from the police officer, and he ends up in a chute. Not a chute, actually, sorry. He turns up in a building where they're preparing to do an act for a parade, for the parade. They're going into the parade. And he's been caught up in it. They think he's the actor, because the actor's running late. They think he's the actor, so they've got him into the parade. And he is Turbo Man. Destiny. He has spent all day searching for Turbo Man. Now he is Turbo Man. And now his kid's gonna see him as Turbo Man. He's not going to notice it's his dad, but he's going to see Turbo Man and he doesn't realise that it's his dad in a suit. I'd love to see the outtakes of this, because the acting is so over the top. It's at times it's cringy, to be honest, but I still love it. It's just, sometimes it's a little strange. Like when he gets in a turbo suit, he suddenly gets Turbo Man's powers and he can start flying around. I'm just like, what's going on? But yeah, there's a limited edition toy for Turbo Man that he's got to pick a kid to give out to, and his kid's there in the crowd. Funny how life works out, innit? So he picks his own kid, obviously, and there's an act where the villain, his arch nemesis, is supposed to turn up, and they're supposed to fight for the show, for the crowd. Turns out the other dad, who's also been chasing this toy, he beat up the guy who's meant to be in that villain suit. He takes his suit and he attacks him. The crowd thinks it's a show, but they're actually fighting each other. And he's also trying to take the toy away from his son, because he's given the toy to his son now. His son still doesn't know at this point that his dad is Turbo Man, like his dad is right there. But the other dad turns up, and he fights him, and then the other dad starts chasing Arnold's son. And most people don't realise it's not a part of the show. Meanwhile, Arnold's flying around because he can't take control of his jetpack on his suit. So it's just funny chaos. But yeah, some of the acting is just so over the top and cringy, man. I need to see outtakes of this, I really do. So Arnold saves the day, but I think they've lost the toy. But like, I don't know how his son and even his wife don't realise it's him, even close up, because he has a distinct accent and voice. Like, you're looking right at him and you don't recognise him, even though he's not fully masked. Like, I'm just like, what? I'm just like, they didn't recognise him until he took his mask off. I'm just like, how? Do you not know your husband? Do you not know your dad? I'm very confused, because he is unique. I know I'm talking about the actor here, but I'm also like, as a character in the movie, he's the most unique character there. You know, he's a distinct voice and accent, distinct tone. Like, it's I'm just like, how do you not recognise it's him? Anyway, as stupid as it is, it's a fun movie that I recommend. It's a fun Christmas movie, although the effects don't hold up. They honestly don't. The policeman realising that Arnold was that Turbo Man, priceless. But also, what's even more priceless is the kid realising that the other dad was also doing the same thing, just trying to get Turbo Man for his son. And Arnold's son decides to give the action figure to the other dad. A very wholesome moment. Like, he doesn't get a toy, he doesn't get the toy, but he gets one of his best memories ever from his childhood with his father. And the other dad gets his toy to give to his son, And obviously Ted got punched in the face. The neighbor, he's out of the picture, and I'm sure Arnold and his wife made up anyway. So everyone's happy. A very nice Christmas ending to a very nice Christmas movie. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Next up, I think we'll watch Elf. Oh, so there's an after credits scene. So it's Christmas night. They're having a good time at home, and his wife is like, "You went through all the effort for your son. What did you get me?" He didn't get anything. And the movie ends on a cliffhanger. A not so wholesome ending, but yeah, he didn't. He forgot about his wife's present. Typical. Christmas is never quite complete without Buddy the Elf. So yeah, this is such a classic, man. Will Ferrell's hilarious in this. It just works so well as a Christmas movie, and like a lot of Christmas movies that are aimed at families, this one can be watched by anyone, you know, families, people from all different kinds of generations can see this movie and think that was cool. So yeah, let's do this. I haven't seen it in a year, so last year, that's kind of normal. Oh wow, David, you haven't seen this Christmas movie since last Christmas? What a shock. This is a great cover though. It really is a great cover. I tried peeling off the HMV logo and, well, I carried on. It was not worth it. But from a distance it still looks fine. A very nice cover. It's a special edition, but it's just a slip cover. You get the regular Blu-ray inside. So yeah, still nice packaging. It only cost a £5 anyway. Why is this shot so funny, man? Your father, he's on a naughty list. No! Almost as iconic as Luke Skywalker's No. Almost. You did it! Congratulations. I do wonder in the real world, how would people react? I mean, like now, 2021, obviously you kind of see it in the movie, but I mean, like, right now, let's say London, right? If you're a Londoner, if someone walked into a shop dressed as this, and started saying what he was saying, what sort of reaction would he get in London? Not a good one, probably. I love how there's perspectives in this, right? Because for him, everything he's doing is just normal. He's just having fun. He's doing North Pole things in New York City. But the people are going to look at that and think, this guy's crazy. I just love it, because it's perspective, really, isn't it? Because for him, it's normal. But for everyone else, it's crazy. It's just, it's how it is. Although I'm not sure picking up chewing gum and eating it is normal in any world. Not even in the North Pole. So, at this point, he's crazy to everyone. The scene when Buddy first meets his dad, his actual dad, is, well, I mean, his actual dad depends on how you look at it. Really, his actual dad is the elf, is Papa Elf. But, like, biological dad. When he finally meets him, it's a funny scene at first, but then it just turns into quite a sad scene when you think about it, when you think about what's really going on. But yeah, if you like Christmas movies and you've somehow never seen this one, first of all, what are you doing? Go and watch it now, or just when you have time. But I've just seen him get hit by a car. Anyway, so Santa Claus accidentally gets a kid from an orphanage. He didn't pick up the kid, but somehow the kid ended up with him. Take him back to North Pole, and he's taken a human back to the North Pole. A human's come to North Pole for the first time, a baby human, and he gives it to an elf who wanted a kid to adopt. So he adopted Buddy. Not Santa, Papa Elf adopted Buddy. Then, when he's all grown up, they tell him the truth, that he's a human, and his mother died. That's why he was in an orphanage. But his father's still alive, he's in New York. But his father's a bit of a prick. And so he ventures out to New York City to find his father. Except he's an elf, as far as he knows. Like, he believes he's an elf. And in the real world, well, I mean, the movie's still fictional, but still, in the real world, people don't believe in Santa. Yeah, so obviously kids do, but every year less and less people believe in Santa, and this movie kind of goes into that a little bit. So, when a guy dressed as an elf goes around New York City and goes into the Empire State Building to see his dad, people are going to think he's crazy. Just because of what he's wearing, and also how he's acting as well on top of that. They're going to think he's bloody crazy. But to him, he's just an elf, being himself, how he has been his whole life on the North Pole. But because he's acting like this in the real world, people are obviously not going to take him seriously, when in actual fact he's being serious the entire time. Everyone thinks he's joking, but he's being serious. He's actually the guy's son. But yeah, it goes wrong in many ways, but I like how the story develops and how eventually eventually things start going right for him towards the end, and I cannot wait for the ending because the way him and his dad make up is great. And he also meets people who are not that big on Christmas, who are not really in the Christmas spirit, they just want to get through the holidays, including a love interest, Zoe Deschanel. They do this in a lot of Christmas movies, like, you know, reminding people about the true meaning of Christmas. You know, that's done a lot in movies, but they do this quite well in this one as well, because Buddy, obviously he's big on Christmas, and he meets people who are not so big on Christmas, and he changes them, and it's great how the story pans out. It's a fun movie, but it's also got good characters in it and a good storyline, so yeah, bundle that together and you've got, for me, the best Christmas movie. I just love the way Buddy speaks though. There's so many funny quotes, but it's just the way the lines are delivered. It's just brilliant. It really is. Maybe not only Will Ferrell, but he's one of the only few actors who can pull this character off, make it good, and make it funny. He can make it entertaining and also actually make it a good character at the same time. His delivery is amazing. The way this scene escalates is so crazy because obviously in the movie context, this is not the real Santa, and Buddy takes a real offense to this, which leads to a massive fight and destruction of all of this, and a lot of people's days ruined. So I love the scene though. It would be mad in real life, but in the movie it's hilarious. You know, I knew this was a Jon Favreau film, but I forgot he was in the movie. He does tend to be in his movies when he directs in it, so that kind of makes sense. I don't know why I never thought of that. But I completely forgot he plays a doctor that does a DNA test to see if he's his father. Yeah. But yeah, the DNA test says that he's his father. So he takes him back to his house to introduce him to his wife and child, and life goes from there. But he still thinks he's an elf. Well, he is an elf, but to them he still thinks he's an elf. So they all think he's insane. So it makes for some interesting dialogue. One of my favourite scenes right here, the Snowball fight scene. From that point on, like his brother, his dad's son. Why am I even saying dad's son? His dad's other son, his brother, finally comes around to him, and you know, they have a great time. They basically become best friends after the kid thinks he's weird. They become best friends, and that's good because the dad ain't a great dad, and the kid ain't always too happy. So you know, that was a really wholesome moment. Buddy going on a date is one of the nicest things. I feel like a lot of girls would enjoy that date. Not that a normal guy would take her on that sort of date. I love Peter Dinklage in this, you know. To be fair, I've not seen anything that he's been in that I've not liked. But still, his elf cameo is awesome. I didn't even mention that scene where he got drunk accidentally. He poured a lot of alcohol into a cup of coffee thinking it was syrup. I love the turnaround though of Buddy's dad finally realising the prick that he was and finally prioritising family over work and money. Wholesome moments. A Christmas moment. What a movie, man. The ending has a lot of heart to it as well. I love it. So yeah, one more to go. Oh yes, yet another Christmas classic, Home Alone, and this is the 4K 30th anniversary edition. So there we go. This movie is truly a classic. It's just so entertaining to watch. The first one anyway. There's many sequels. The second one's not too bad actually. Then it starts getting worse in 3 and 4. Then there's another one, and then there's a recent one which was just, I didn't see it. I saw clips of it. It was really cringy. But anyway, this is about the original one. The original Home Alone was a classic, and it was brilliant. It's just a shame that the sequels could not capture what was special about the first one. But yeah, a big family with a lot of kids. They go on holiday, and they leave Kevin at home accidentally. They leave one kid at home, and meanwhile there are robbers planning to rob the place because the family are gone on holiday. They think they're gone. They're going to rob the place, but Kevin's still there, and he's a smart kid, so he sets a lot of deadly traps. Deadly traps. Those traps could kill a man. Deadly traps, not so deadly traps, all sorts of traps. He sets traps around the house to keep the robbers at bay, to keep the robbers out of the house. And yeah, it's just a really fun movie in general. There's other elements to it too, but the kid's low-key a psycho. Like, if you look at the way he pranks those robbers, it looks like a damn serial killer in the making. Like, jeez, the kid was insane. I swear the entire family just hates him. They just all hate him. Like, there's no evidence that they remotely love him until they realise he's gone missing when they already travelled abroad. But I swear they just hate him. If you look at the opening of the movie, they hate him. I feel like that's solidified when they actually go abroad to catch that flight. First of all, they're leaving 45 minutes before the flight. I'm not sure where they live, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible to catch a flight that quickly. Especially when you look at the airport in the movie. There's no way. But apparently, they managed that. But seriously, going back to the point that they hate Kevin, how did not... This is a big family. Like, dozens, over a dozen kids, parents, the dad's brother. It's a whole big family, alright? There's more than a couple of adults. Not one of them thought, where's Kevin? Get out of here. Get out of here. Just stop this. Stop this. Would it not have been on the plane tickets as well? Like, would there not have been a spare plane ticket? They would have... You know what? Despite some of the things, it's still a great movie. I'm just saying. Like, logically, they would know by the time they got to the airport that Kevin's missing. Otherwise, you just waste the seat on a plane. Like, where do you think he is? These two are quite the duo. You know what? I need to rewatch the second one, to be honest. Not for this video, but I need to rewatch it. Keep the change, you filthy animal. You know, obviously the movie's mostly about him defending the home, but there's also a lot of scenes of him going out. I don't remember some of them. I completely forgot the scene where he goes shopping. What a movie. I don't know much to say, to be honest, but I pretty much explained what happens. But yeah, a great final act. Just that whole house sequence was just hilarious. But seriously though, low-key a psycho. The traps he set up. But yeah, that was awesome. That is it for my Christmas movie sort of marathon in a way. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And let me know what your favourite Christmas movies are down below. I assume at least one of these will be in there. At least one of the last two anyway. Elf or Home Alone, surely. At least one of those is in your favourites. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. We have done it! We have watched at least one movie on every episode of the year. I know there's one left, but the last one's going to be an updated movie collection. And there's a lot more 4K this year, so going to be a big episode. Next year, it'll be focused on one movie per week, including Ultraman. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like... Did I say this? But I probably have. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And goodbye.